Welcome, TEI family, to another episode of The Everyday Investor. Today we have a very special guest with us. It's not too many people that I run into, and based on their resume or their story, I'm blown away. But this gentleman that we have with us today, his story, his resume blew me away. From playing collegiate athletics at an Ivy League institution to being a member of the Navy SEALs, all the way until a few weeks away from graduating from a top tier law school in the country. This gentleman's resume is very impressive. Please help me welcome Ryan.
Hey,
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing
good. Good to see you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I'm glad that we're able to, I guess, chat a little bit today. I know the audience will definitely get a lot of good nuggets from this sit down between you and I. I know we talked kind of offline about like some of the goals and things like that of the channel and just the podcast, and hopefully people being able to just watch these different interviews and maybe kind of see some similarities between the different guests, and hopefully be able to implement those things in their life, and hopefully have a little bit of success or half of the success of in their life compared to the guests that I bring on. So I guess with that being said, I want to kind of jump in and get started. I want to be conscious and respectable of your time. I know we have a lot to get through. I guess the first thing I want to talk about is, I guess, growing up, and again, talked about it a little bit in the introduction between, went to Harvard, played lacrosse, and then, being a part of the Navy SEALs, and then going on to Georgetown Law and kind of doing the things that you're doing from that standpoint, and being, almost, pretty much at the end of that time at Georgetown Law and about to graduate with your JD. Growing up, did you imagine, or was the expectation like, oh yeah, I always wanted to play sports at an Ivy League institution and kind of wanted to be a member of the military, or did all that stuff just kind of fall in place as you were going?
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having me on. I
Sure.
appreciate it. You and I had a chance to meet at the Detroit Athletic Club,
Yep.
and we got an opportunity to talk. I think we've become, fast friends.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Impressive story yourself.
Thank you.
So I was honored to make the cut to be on your podcast. It's really cool what you're doing, and I hope it resonates with people out there. So
Thank you. I appreciate that.
thank you for that. With regard to to my path and when it started, I think it was a series of environmental circumstances that kind of helped guide my decision making. So each experience, I would kind of step back and assess where I was at. Definitely, that started at a young age with being just sort of naturally inclined to athletics. I was a coordinated kid. I loved being outside, and then having a stable home. A very loving
Got you.
and supportive mother and father that allowed me to explore what my interests were.
Okay.
So that kind of gave me some early confidence. That got me that helped my decision to attend Brother Rice High School. So I was a public school kid up until that point.
Okay.
Rice had a really good reputation for high school athletics, especially lacrosse and football, my
Yep.
interest. So I went there. But the military piece, that caught everyone by surprise,
Really?
kind of myself included. Yeah, I think for me, first of all, September 11th happened when I was a junior
Yeah.
in high school.
Okay.
So I remember I was sitting at Brother Rice High School. I was a recruited athlete. I was looking at different opportunities for where I was going to play lacrosse or football in college. I was definitely a better lacrosse player, so I was leaning towards that. I had a lot more interest. And so September 11th happens. I'm getting recruited by schools to play lacrosse, and I started taking official visits, which I know you're familiar with,
Right.
being a college athlete. One of the visits I went on was at the Naval Academy, and actually I had an awesome weekend visiting the Naval
Really?
Academy,
Yep.
which further sparked my interest. Yeah, and it was nothing like, I mean, there was no partying, there was no good time. I just pretty much got to follow around a midshipman and see how they live their life.
Okay.
And I mean, I think the first night I was there, it ended with me sitting in their bunk bed while they were all doing homework till 11 o'clock at night, getting their uniforms ready. But something about that spoke to me, the honor and the sacrifice that they were already making. And I was pretty close to committing to the Naval Academy to play there. So I think after those experiences happened, I decided to go to Harvard, played lacrosse, had an incredible experience I'm happy to talk more about. but that initial itch to join the military never went away. And I think it's a combination of those environmental circumstances, the athletic team camaraderie aspect of being in the military.
Yep.
I wasn't going to play professional lacrosse. So where could I find that locker room environment? I thought I might find it, in service to my country.